I decided to make the Philippines my permanent home. Over here, it's just more freedom. It's just easier.
After a month, I found out that he was cheating on me.
The lonely foreigner usually buy into that. They spend all their life savings. 2 years later, we have 34 units.
Hi, please tell us your name and where you're from.
Complicated. My name is Derek. I was born in Vietnam to Chinese parents, so we immigrated to Los Angeles, California. Good old US of A.
Nice USA. And what about yourself?
I'm I Nin Ding Ding, just short for I. And I live in the Philippines. I born in Bohol, but I grew up here in Cebu.
And how do you know this sexy young man? How do you know him?
It's the haircut.
We found each other in what you call
Cupid.
it? Cupid, yeah.
Yeah, which I am against, by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Why are you against that now?
You know, like, I just feel like the online dating services are, you know, like, it breeds a lot of, you know, like scams and, you know, it's just low-hanging fruit, you know.
Yeah.
For us men, you know, we see it as a low-hanging fruit, you know, it's just easy process to meet
Yeah.
with the ladies. And then the ladies see the same way, you know, like us foreigners, you know, are low-hanging fruit for them. And it's just words, you know, it's just, from my experiences, you know, it's just like most of the ladies on the online services, you know, like after about 2 sentences of exchange, it's either, you know, I need money for food or my,
Transportation.
yeah,
Load.
transportation load, my dog is missing a leg, my cat has, you know, testicular cancer
Yeah,
or whatever.
something's going on.
Yeah. So it gets overwhelming, but for she and I, it was just, you know, like a total coincidence thing. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. And what are you doing here in the Philippines?
You know, like I grew up pretty much most of my life in Los Angeles, and I was blessed with a very successful sales career. And I never saw myself to be like a slave to the dollar. You know, I never chased the dollar. I never had a desire to be a multimillionaire or whatever. So I stopped working at age 37, and then I was born in Vietnam, and my family was one of the refugee families that, you know, like went through the Philippines for 6 months in the refugee processing center.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my first memory of the Philippines at age 7. And it was fond memories. So I came back, you know, for the first time as an adult, you know, like a few years back, maybe like 13, 14 years ago. And then I just discovered, you know, like the Philippines all over again. So it just brought back, you know, good memories. So I decided to, you know, like make the Philippines my permanent home. And we started a few businesses here. And I feel like the Philippines, you know, like it's one of the best countries
Yeah.
to start a business as a foreigner because of the monetary risk is very low.
Yeah.
And then there's very less restrictions, you know, like in the United States. I can't afford to open a business after, you know, like liability insurance and, you know, like
Just the
long
lease
leases.
alone is
Yeah.
you know, killer over there. So,
Long leases and stuff like that. Over here, it's just more freedom. It's just easier. And then, of course, you know, like because of my refugee, you know, like experience here in the Philippines, you know, I decided to, you know, just contribute to society in one way or the other. So, you know, when we hire, you know, staff, you know, we don't pay the minimum wage. We always have, you know, some kind of incentive for them as
Yeah.
well. And then we contribute a lot of our proceeds along with, you know, like what we do on our YouTube channel, you know, like our income from there. You know, we do a lot of philanthropy type of work.
okay, that's amazing. What's it like being a partner with a foreigner for yourself? Is this your first American you dated?
And I have before I have one, but we're not like
Serious?
just like no, we cannot say that we're having a relationship though, because just after a month I found out that he was cheating on me. So
Okay, it's okay. It's a guy
no, but
thing.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Then yeah, at first it's just like it's not easy though because the culture that I came from, especially the Philippines, they're very sensitive or like what you call
More
it?
traditional.
More traditional, yeah. At first it's hard, but I always like it's very hard for me at first though
Yeah.
because I need to adapt his culture and he also trying his best also to adapt the culture of Filipino. And then and now I already cover everything.
You know everything, huh?
Yeah.
And the culture, was there any culture shock for you coming back here?
No, because I was born in Vietnam, you know, so like culturally, Vietnamese and Filipinos are pretty similar, you know, like traditionally and, you know, like even down to our cuisine, it's similar enough,
Yeah.
so it's not a culture shock for me, no. And I travel a lot in my lifetime.
What do you think is a common mistake some expats or foreigners make coming here? Because like you said, you help expats as well, so obviously they made some mistakes. So is there like a common mistake that you see foreigners making coming to the Philippines?
Desperation, like, and I say that because a lot of, like, a lot of the traps that I see, a lot of foreigners came here with a very lonely heart. And then, it just seems like, just from my observation, not matter of fact, but, I see a lot of foreigners, like the first girl that smile at them, it's just like they're head over heels, number one. And also because of the difference in culture with the local Filipinas, it's just like they talk about marriage, love, kids, stuff like that way too soon in the meeting. And then, typically when you first hold hands, she already determined that you're the boyfriend or future husband. So it's very common in that. And then the lonely foreigner usually buy into that. And then, they spend all their life savings and invest all they have without any reserves. And then they fall into that trap and get into big troubles.
It's like jumping in too quick, right?
Jumping in too quick, because it's, I don't blame them in a sense, but that is an awareness that they got to have, because I can imagine, like many years of, whether Canada or the United States, of loneliness, it's just like the first girl that smiled at you. I get it, but, that's a big caveat that I think people need to overcome when they come here,
Very interesting. And from a female's perspective, from your point of view, what's the best way for foreigners to meet local good Filipino women? How can we come here and meet the love of our lives,
Much better, especially you will go to a deep province because they are not exposed to a foreigner. And for my, don't be rushed. Just know this girl first because we don't know where they came from, what's their intentions for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And much better also to hang out with them, locals. I prefer for deep province.
Okay. And what about yourself? Are you living in the province now or are you in the city? What kind of...
I do live in Lapu-Lapu City because we own a motorbike rental business, and then it's best to stay in the city. But in my heart, it's just like I'm a province person. If I can grow a beard, I'll be like a Chinese mountain man. But I'm not able to do that. But we're looking at land in, like the deep province in Bohol.
Okay.
Bohol's my favorite, I'm the type of people that prefer my neighbors to be like,
Far away.
yeah, like 2 miles down, but because of business, it's just like our business wouldn't work in the province.
Of course, there's not enough demand, right? And most people probably already have a motorbike that they're living
Correct.
with. So
Correct.
some people come as probably just like short-term rental and obviously.
Yeah.
About your business, like tell me a little bit more about that. Is it challenging to start a business? I know a lot of people want to come here and have some sort of income, right?
Yeah.
So what are some pitfalls of opening a business, a positive, anything you want to share regarding opening a business in the Philippines?
Yeah, it could be easy and it could be hard. I chose the hard way because I wanted to learn things, myself. I could have easily, like hire a local or an attorney to help me file the proper paperwork with the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission. But I chose to do it myself, and I chose to, make the mistakes myself because that's how I learn. I'm a hands-on person. And then it was a little bit difficult. It took me 3 months to get the paperwork process. But thereafter, it's just very easy. We started very minimum, less than $10,000 with 4 bikes. Actually 3 bikes that we purchased and 1 personal bike that we rent out. And then
We started at 2, then we saw that there's
traffic.
traffic for that,
Yeah.
so we buy another one until we get 4, and now we're
Yeah. And then, like long story short, 2 years later, we have 34 units and then, all paid off. So the income is good, and it's consistent, it's very easy. You don't have all these requirements that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And we operate out of our residence, so we don't have an extra, like commercial rent that we have to pay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so our residence is right outside Tambuli Resort, and we're surrounded by, like all the mega resorts there and Mactan Newtown.
Yeah.
So it draws all the 90% of our customers are foreigners. Yeah, and it gives me the ability to teach, our staff, the locals, like to elevate themselves, it's best to make, like profits in USD while spending the pesos, as far as cost of living is concerned. So there's a lot of, concepts that we try to, enlighten the locals.
Nice. So you mentioned your YouTube channel. Tell me a little bit about that. What's the name of it, and what kind of videos do you make on your YouTube channel?
Oh, we do philanthropy for Q Adventures, and we have like young generation, how to like.
May I?
Oh yeah, sure, honey.
Okay.
Much better.
Our channel is Q Adventures, the letter Q and then Adventures. But and then we started, 2 years ago, and we did a lot of like traveling type of content.
Yes.
However, in the modern days, I cover the, or we cover the cultural aspect, like the road less travel in the Philippines. If you want to, view content about Ayala and stuff like that. That's not us.
Yeah.
So we go into like the deep, province, and then, and then we also cover, like philanthropy type of work. Like currently we sponsor about 4 kids and pay for their college. And we offer a lot of mentorship to, the locals as well. The hope is to help them, break the cycle, whenever we take on someone that we mentor, we always give them an example, it's just like if your, great grandfather is a fisherman, your grandfather's a fisherman, your father's a fisherman, and they're all not successful, maybe it's time for you to, not be a fisherman, or find a better way to fish, and then we, see how receptive they are, we cannot take on, we're only 2 people, so, we're not an organization, we just do this, personally and privately. And but we document that on our channel as well. So it's just we put a lot of emphasis on the younger generation locals, to help them break the cycle, if they are receptive. But occasionally, we come across, foreigners in distress or stuff like that. Although that is not our preference. I was born in a Buddhist family. So it's hard for me to see human suffering. So, sometimes we do get involved as well.
Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'll be sure to put your YouTube channel on here because you sound like you have quite an amazing channel with great stories and you're helping people, which is awesome. I'd like to be there one day to be able to help others like you guys have, but
you have.
Yeah, I mean,
don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're right. I have, and that became from just chance because I met him on the street, Greg, right? Like I just ran into him. But I like to actually plan for stuff like that in the future. So thank you guys for sitting down with me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, Alex.
That was Derek and I from Q Adventures. Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what do you think of their experience in the Philippines. Anything you want to share. And please go ahead and check out Q Adventures. They make some very interesting videos, very different from the usual content from expats in the Philippines about dating, cost of living, all that stuff. These guys are like real adventurers. They go straight into the provinces and talk about some things that I had no idea about. Plus, they are obviously giving back to the community, and so good for them. Show them some love, subscribe to the channel, check out their content, and let them know Alex sent you. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button. I've also put their business contact in the description down below and in the comment section. If you guys are interested in renting a motorbike or just saying hello to them, go ahead and give them a shout. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.